10X Growth Con 2020. Obviously, some of these things have showstoppers. And what were they? We got 3 of them right here, up next. What's up, guys? Kris Krāze here, and we're going to talk about the 10X Growth Con 2020 showstoppers that literally stop the show in their tracks. Like, okay? What is a showstopper, first and foremost? If you don't know what a showstopper is, it's a showstopper. Like, it stops the show. Ha! Anyways, that's not the purpose of this. The purpose is to talk about what were the 3 showstoppers of 10X Growth Con. Well, they were pretty crazy, and let me tell you what, they were awkward as well. I was sitting in the back because sometimes I like to sit in the back because with my companies, I always get behind stage and front row seats, so I actually like being part of the crowd sometimes. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about the showstoppers. So what were they, and how do you learn from them? What's some advice so that you don't do the same thing? Number 1 is Kevin Hart was talking, and while he's up on stage and Grant Cardone is talking with him, someone from the audience literally walked all the way up from like the second section up and started to get on stage as if they were going to ask for an autograph. Now, that's what it was looking like. The guy literally came up to ask for an autograph, but Kevin Hart made a joke out of it, and he said, you know, I look back here, I was about to run off stage, and he really was. The funny thing here is you never know. When you get to that level of celebrity status, you never know what's going to be happening. You never know who's going to come out of the woodworks, and people do some crazy stuff. We're in a crazy world. Some people are obsessed. Now, I don't know what this dude's deal was and if this dude was obsessed, but it appeared that there was hats on the stage, and those hats, maybe he had thrown his hat up there and he wanted to go retrieve his hat, and in the case of doing that, asked for an autograph. But time and place, man. Come on. You don't want to go up on stage right in the middle of something like that, right in the middle of an interview when you got 12,000 other people around and you're going to ask for an autograph. Like, yes, they say be pushy and they say be unique and stand out and do things that stand out. But again, there's a time and a place. That's the last place that you want to do it, and that's not the right time when you're right in the middle of everything like that. So that was something that should not have been done. So how do you learn from that? Ask for the autograph at the right time. If there's a group of people hovered around and everybody's asking for an autograph, weasel your way up in the group and ask for the autograph. You know, try to wait till everybody's done and they start to walk off, and then, hey, by the way, can I get a picture and autograph with you? If you can't, there's always next time. Go home and Photoshop yourself in it. I mean, you know, there's other ways around that. Don't steal the entire show. What actually happens there is that could be a breach of security. Now, this event was great. I'm not going to criticize the event or any of the security, but sometimes they do have more security. Sometimes security is a lot stricter than they are at this event. Most of the time, they would have ran, they would have tackled you, they would have put you in handcuffs, they could have, or something else that you could be in violation of something else, okay? Now, just don't go there. So, time and place, man. Don't walk up on stage. You know what? This isn't your moment to shine. What they say is, this is your moment to shine, homie. Well, this wasn't your moment. It was Kevin Hart's. Let him have his moment. So, what's number 2? Grant Cardone at the end of 10X Growth Con opened up a Q&A. This is a perfect example for anybody in the crowd to ask questions. Literally, he opened up a Q&A. You can ask this man anything that you want, anything. So think about what you've read online. Think about what other people might be seeing online. Think about all this stuff. He's literally giving you an open mic to ask anything that you want. Why would you stand up and try to promote your services to anybody? Okay, now don't get me wrong, A for effort, but what I'm saying is in a practical world here, not the time and place. Get it? Kind of the common denominator here is time and place. The time and place is not to stand up and promote yourself. And that's exactly what somebody did. Somebody did stand up. I actually think it was the first person. He stood up, dude was kind of ripped, and he turned around and he said, hey, I could do your bodybuilding for you, or I could do your personal fitness for you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just saying, and it was like an awkward silence. Now, I could tell that Grant Cardone, and I'm sure everybody else of the 12,000 people that were there could as well, but those are people that it was kind of a little chuckle, and Grant Cardone turned around and actually mentioned something to that effect of like, time and place, you know, I'm not going to take this here. I think he mentioned, it was either this guy or somebody else, he had actually mentioned like, hey, join one of my masterminds and you can get, you know, a little bit closer to me. that's probably the right way to go. You know what I mean? And how this is used as a perfect example here is when you market to somebody and you market your product, you don't want to just cram your product right in their face like, hey, buy my product. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that, because they're not going to want to buy it. They're going to think that it's stupid, or they're going to be opposed to it. You're coming in too fast. You know, like when they say when you drive in somewhere too fast, like coming in hot. That's what's happening. You're coming in too hot. Nudge, nudge, nudge. Nudge is the key word. When you want something, nudge your way up towards it, okay? If you really want to try to be Grant Cardone's personal trainer, study the other personal trainer. Where do they hang out? Where is he at? Maybe become part of his mastermind. I'm not saying throw all your money at this dude and hope for the sky, but at the same time, there's 100 other ways to do it. Not during questions and answers and when he opens up the mic to everybody, because again, what's happening there is you're being a little bit selfish. Now, I have to say this with a caveat, because in business, yes, business is cutthroat and you want to get your stuff out there, but at the same time, what's happening is both of these instances, you're actually robbing everybody else in that entire stadium of their ability to get that information, and you're actually taking up time. Now, to get extremely technical with it, yeah, maybe 4 minutes was lost on one question, and when that guy walked up on stage, there was like a couple other minutes lost. Like, in the grand scheme of things, is that really a big problem? No. But let's say that everybody did that all weekend, the entire event. Well, now it's a problem, because now the event is not about the event. It's about all these people doing all this other stuff. So you kind of get my point here. Think about it, okay? Yes, you want to be selfish to an extent because business is cutthroat, but you don't want to take it overboard. And personally, those were two instances that were a little bit overboard. And actually, Grant Cardone did talk about that and mention it. So the way the chuckles were made, and I believe even the way the audience reacted, it did show, I think everybody was on the same consensus here, and we all still felt the same way. Now, number 3, what was the third showstopper? This was by far the funniest one. And I'm sure that when these videos come out, if they're not already out somewhere else, they're there. If I don't see one in a period of time, then I'll post one myself. But it was one of the females in the front section, and I'm sure she paid a lot to be there, but it was when Scooter Braun was talking, and she kept going, yes! Yes! Oh, yes! And this was the common denominator. Now, after the 7th or 8th or 15th time, yes, this is funny and this is hilarious. But it did get to a point, and Grant Cardone politely turned around and did start to tell people, or actually indirectly tell her, like, hey, we've heard you, like, enough's enough. That's kind of the message it was across. Now what's happening is you're starting to take away from everybody else. Again, common denominator here with all 3 of these is you're not adding value, you're taking away from everything else. So that's what ended up started happening. And it was funny because Scooter Braun actually made a joke about it, and he used it within his talks, which I think it was funny. Everybody thought it was funny. We all had a great number of laughs from it, and more than one laugh, trust me. But this was great. How do you use this as a learning experience? Stand out, which yes, each one of these people definitely did, but be mindful, be cognitive, be aware, understand that, like, yes, you are there, you did pay for a ticket, but 12,000 other people did pay for tickets as well. How much value are you adding to the event, or how much value are you taking away from the event? If that was me, at least in situation number 2 with the question and answer, I didn't raise my hand because I didn't personally think of a question right away up front that would have added a lot of value, because I had so many questions. But a lot of these questions were things that, like, maybe other people didn't find value in. But again, could that be me getting in my own head? You see there? So there is a caveat with that, but just think about that. So 3 things, 3 showstoppers at GrowthCon 10X GrowthCon 2020, whatever you want to call it, that actually stopped the show. Number 1 was the guy walking up on stage with Kevin Hart. Literally, it was weird. It was like, whoa, what's going on? And then they laughed about it, and Kevin Hart joked about it. Anyways, number 2 was during the questions and answers, somebody pitched their own personal fitness services and bodybuilding services and said that he could do a better job than Grant Cardone's personal trainer. Highly doubt that, but I don't know. I'm not going to knock you, dude. If you're watching this, any of you guys watching this that did one of these 3 things, 2 guys and a girl, A for effort. Let me tell you that, A A for effort. And number 3, yes, yes. And then they would talk and yes. I love it. You're going to want to find that video because it is hilarious. Anyways, I'm Kris Krāze. I wanted to bring you these 3 showstoppers from 10X GrowthCon. Until next time, check out the channel, hit subscribe. I got tons of cool content on here that'll help you out with your business, with your website, things like that. I love what I do, okay? I like doing recaps on showstoppers. So anyways, until next time, I'm Kris Krāze.